What's up guys, it's Nathan here. Imagine buying your dream home only to find out years later that it's not legally yours. In this unbelievable story, a Queensland couple faces the heartbreaking reality of losing their home due to a shocking legal dispute. Watch as we discover the twists and turns of this cautionary tale and learn how to avoid a similar fate. In a shocking turn of events, Queensland couple Jesse and Jackie Moorcroft are facing the grim reality of losing their dream home, which they bought at auction 5 years ago. Despite having paid for and lived in the property, the Queensland Supreme Court has ruled that the home still belongs to its previous owner, 83-year-old Hind Isaiah. This devastating outcome has left the Moorcrofts reeling as they struggle to comprehend how they could have purchased a property, paid for it, and still lose it. The Moorcrofts initially moved from Victoria to Mermaid Beach in the Gold Coast with the hope that the warmer climate and salt air would alleviate their child's lung condition. In March 2018, they bought a house at Francis Street, which was a mortgagee auction at $1.265 million, with its current value as of today worth over $2.7 million according to court documents. However, the couple was unaware that the property was embroiled in a legal dispute prior to their purchase. Stay tuned as we reveal the unexpected outcome of this devastating legal battle and the crucial lessons for all home buyers can learn from the Moorcrofts' shocking experience. Hind Isaiah, the previous owner, claimed that her home was unlawfully mortgaged as a security for a loan by a relative who later defaulted. In an effort to prevent the sale of the property, she placed a caveat. Lacking the funds to apply for an injunction in the court, Ms. Isaiah eventually agreed to remove the caveat in exchange for $40,000 before the property settled. Consequently, the Moorcrofts paid for the property and took possession in June of 2018. And if you find value in this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button as it really helps out the channel. And a big thank you to all our subscribers for your support. Inspires us to create more content. We hope you enjoy. Court documents reveal that Ms. Isaiah informed the Queensland Titles Office that her home had been fraudulently mortgaged by criminals. She filed a police complaint but did not mention her agreement to withdraw the caveat for $40,000. This oversight resulted in the title remaining in her name even though the Moorcrofts paid for the house and lived in it since 2018. In September of 2018, Ms. Isaiah initiated legal action in the Supreme Court to reclaim her property. The Moorcrofts had been embroiled in a legal battle ever since, which they're trying to retain the ownership of their home, which they believe was rightfully theirs. Unfortunately, in February, the Supreme Court Justice Lincoln Crowley ruled that the Moorcrofts had no legal interest in the property due to the title never being transferred into their name. The court determined that the Moorcrofts had held an equitable interest in the property while Miss Isaiah remained the legal owner with her name on the title. Additionally, the court discovered that the mortgagees who had sold the property had been unaware of the allegations of fraud prior to the settlement. This nightmarish situation has left the Moorcrofts family heartbroken and disillusioned as they now face the reality of leaving the home that they come to love and cherish over the past 5 years. They say that they've lost a house after 5 years and they never thought that it'd be possible. We've lost the house after 5 years and we just thought it'd never be possible, Mr. Moorcroft laments. This case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of thorough due diligence when purchasing a property and the potential risks involved of the buying process. And don't miss the surprise twist at the end of the story as we uncover the court's decision on compensation and how the case will impact future home buyers and their situation. Following the auction of the disputed property, Ms. Isaiah filed a police complaint regarding the alleged fraud. A handwriting expert testified during the trial that Ms. Isaiah's signature had been forged on the loan documents. As Ms. Isaiah now suffers from Alzheimer's, her daughter Jennifer Hicklick acts as her legitimate guardian through the Supreme Court proceedings. Ms. Isaiah sued the mortgagees who had sold the property, listed on court documents as several different entities. Besides Jesse and Jackie Moorcroft, the Register of Titles, the State of Queensland, the relative, and a lawyer who were named as defendants. In February, the Justice Crowley ruled that the 7 mortgagees referred to as lenders of last resort in the documents were not entitled to exercise the power of a sale over the house. He found that the mortgage entered into using the property as security was null and void. The court acknowledged that Mrs. Zayas' signature had been forged, and the state mortgagees attempted to verify Mrs. Zayas' execution of the mortgage on the home before selling the property was wholly inadequate. Consequently, the mortgage against the property that led to the sale was deemed fraudulent. Despite the court ruling that the Moorcrofts did not have a legal interest in the home, they were also unable to register the title and were found to be entitled to recover $2.75 million from the mortgagees who sold the home from a breach in the contract. The Moorcrofts now worry that enforcing the judgment against multiple lenders will both be costly and challenging to pursue in court. Having already incurred over $300,000 in fees, the Moorcrofts are seeking compensation from the state government, as the court found them victims of the fraud as well. Although the judgment stated that the state government is liable to compensate the purchasers as they were deprived of their equitable interest in the property because of the fraud of another person. No orders have been made yet. Documents reveal that lawyers from the state argued against awarding compensation during the trial. Stay tuned as we reveal the crucial advice that'll help protect you from experiencing a devastating situation like the Moorcrofts family when purchasing a home. The stress of potentially losing their property over the past 5 years has left the Moorcroft family in a desperate situation. During the trial, the Moorcrofts contended that Mrs. Zayas should not be awarded the house due to her conduct in withdrawing the caveat so that the settlement could go through and be completed. However, Justice Crowley ruled that her conduct in removing the caveat in exchange for $40,000 was misleading. University Bond legal academic Laura Lee Cameron Dow cautions that home buyers need to be careful when dealing with caveats. She advised that once a caveat is involved, home buyers should seek legal counsel, as the process can be complicated and have significant consequences if managed poorly. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with all things property and finance. The issue of compensation by the state government will be considered by the court when it returns. This case serves as a cautionary tale for home buyers and highlights the importance of a thorough due diligence. To avoid similar situations as the Moorcrofts, first homeowners need to take care and follow some precautions. Firstly, they should engage a conveyancer, solicitor, or settlement agent. They do vary and they all do the same thing. Effectively, they handle your legal aspects of the property transaction. They'll ensure that the documentation is prepared and completed correctly and submitted with the right authorities, and ensuring that the property is thoroughly checked and investigated to ensure there's no potential issues, which means it will minimize the risks associated with purchasing the property and provide a safeguard to you in the future. It's also wise to conduct thorough due diligence. Before purchasing a property, research its history, including any legal disputes, past ownership, and encumbrance, and you may also want to work with your solicitor here, who often specialize in providing specific searches on the property to ensure that you're not going to have any nasty surprises. If there are any complications or red flags that arise from doing the purchasing process, consult with your conveyancer. An experienced conveyancer, settlement agent, or legal professional can help you navigate through the complex issues such as caveats, liens, and other potential issues, which they'll provide you advice and steps on how to proceed. Here at Hunter Galloway, we're a mortgage broker that help first homeowners like yourself right around Australia. So if you're looking for assistance and you're looking for a broker, give us a call. There's no cost for our service. You can contact us on 1300 088 065 or visit our website huntergalloway.com.au. We'd love to help. Fill in the contact form. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts down below. Have you heard of a situation where a friend or a family member's had a caveat on the property and the solicitor found out and gave them the right advice? We'd love to know.